All right, my man. Without a further ado, he don't need no introduction, y'all. My boy Kev Williams on Real Talk with Nick. And what we gonna do today? We gonna talk about your life, brother. I want to know, how did you come about being in the position you are as a former N.b.a. basketball player, man?
Nick, like I was blessed, man. When I was like 13, I met Joe Hammond. After I saw him, like, funny story. This is how I met Joe Hammond. I had a big brother named Clarence Jones. His mother used to babysit me, and these guys I'm talking about wolves, man. These are real wolves. I'm telling you. Clarence Jones, his brother Alfonso, and they raised me. And Clarence was a great shooter, but I was little. I was like maybe 5. And I could never shoot the ball. And Clarence used to always tell me, Kevin, one day you're going to get big and you're going to shoot the ball. But I was so frustrated at that age that I couldn't reach the rim that I used to come out every day.
And how old was you at that
I was
time?
about 5. I was about five or 6. And, I was a frail kid, So, I always did anything. I did it excessive because I always thought I was not. I was always the undernourished kid. But I was well fed, and you see how I am now. I ain't never had no weight on me or nothing. So I always, felt slighted because of that. So I always worked out extra and did everything do everything, make sure that everything is done correctly. So I was always well prepared as an athlete. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old was you when you met Joe Hammond, man?
I met Joe when I was about 13. Clarence was driving me around. He used to see me playing ball as a little kid. He told me to get in his car. So he drove me to a gambler's spot. And he told me, yo, you want to see the best ball player in Harlem? I said, yeah. So now this guy with an afro, light-skinned guy with an afro, frizzy afro, comes out of this spot and dives on me in the car. So now I don't like him now because he just dove on me. And I'm looking at him. Then he goes to sleep in the car. So now we driving all the way up to 150th Street. I'm looking at this guy. I'm just looking at him. So now he gets out the car. He gives me this box. He tell me, yo, come here. He take me and sit me down. I'm looking at him. He walks to this hydrant because back then, it's not you when you go to 155th Street now, you see the police barriers. When Joe, it was used to just be a hydrant right there. You still see the hydrant, but that was all you saw on that street. Joe, and it was running. Joe put his head in the hydrant and then shook it off. I'm looking at him, and then went and hit 68 points. I mean, I was like, I want to be like him.
What?
Once I saw that,
68 points on who? You got the Rucker?
I think it was Emmett Bryant and them niggas. I know one of them. I was little. I was like 13. It was Emmett Bryant and them, but I know Joe Hammond. He hit about 14 backboard shots, man. I mean, like,
Was he that nice?
he was incredible, man. He was, and then like, so, let me finish the story. It's funny. So, when the game was over, he walked up over to me and he said, he opened up the box and it was hashish in it. He broke off a piece and gave it to me. And Clarence got mad and smacked it out of my hand and gave it back to Joe. I said, man, what the fuck is you doing, man? You know that's Chink's son, man. He said, I like that kid. And then after that, I would see Joe in the park and he would teach me how to use the backboard. And, he was a great mentor, man. Joe was like an uncle to me, man. I love him, man. That's I'm going to be honest with you. Joe Hammond, Alan Lowry. Man, there's so many ball players.
Pee Wee Kirkland?
Nah. Pee Wee, I never, listen, Pee Wee, no. Who I loved was Freddie, man. Freddie Myers was another one. He's a real wolf, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was raised by these people, man. Like I wasn't raised by no sap people, man. I was raised by real wolves, man.
Now, when I speak of Joe Hammond again, I want to stick on that story, man. Why was you sticking his head in the water, man?
My assumption at that age, he probably was up all night gambling or something, man.
Yeah?
He went to sleep in the car. I was 13. Notice I don't know. I'm innocent. I don't know. I'm like appalled. This guy's all over me,
Right.
But I didn't know him. That was the first time I met him. But man, he's a great person. Man.
He's a great player.
Man. Yeah, man.
I interviewed Joe Hammond. Well, I don't know if you've seen the interview.
I saw it.
And I asked him, man, would he been able to bust Michael Jordan's ass?
Joe would have busted his ass, man. Listen, man. let's say this, like Mike was blessed with certain gifts. Joe was blessed with the gift to never miss, man. I'm talking about this. I used to put, you know how, let me tell you something, man. I think I was going to the N.b.a. and Joe let me beat him. I beat him 32-28, and he let me beat him.
Why would you say he let you beat him?
40. Man, listen, man. Like I said, man, Joe is incredible, man. I'm just saying, man. I can't describe how he plays, man. It's like, yo, he can post your ass up at the free throw line and just turn and hit that motherfucker. And I mean all day. I mean, it's just certain people.
So he had like a Curry shot.
He had a Joe Hammond shot, man. He's way better than Steph Curry because he had an inside game. He could take the contact and still, Joe could jump, man. He didn't have no flaws, man. And that's the truth. Anybody that's seen Joe Hammond will say that was the most perfect basketball player they ever saw. And that's the truth, man.
And he ain't making an NBA,
Joe,
man.
let me say this, man. In them streets at that time, man, they didn't give, it's a lot of things people don't understand how this system, how it relegates black people to the lowest rungs of society. And we are forced and compelled to do things against the norm, man. And I can't fault that because people that wake up and ain't got no food in their stomach or nothing to eat or nothing to take care of themselves got to do what they got to do.
Right.
Okay, so I'm not, only God gonna judge that.
Right.
Okay, so that's how I look at that. But I was raised by these people, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed of it either. So.
Right. I asked Joe Hammond, and I'm gonna leave the link in the description box with me interviewing Joe Hammond. So the viewers can.
Yeah, they need to look at it.
Yeah, for those who didn't see that video, but I asked him, did he regret? Did he have any regrets not going to the NBA, man? He said, yeah, he did, man, and he said he would have did things differently, but I know he's loved in Harlem, man.
It was a lot of money, man. Joe was making more money on the street, man, than they was paying in the NBA, man. I'm telling you, man. It's like, yo, it was too much money floating around at that time.
Yeah.
And Joe, let me tell you what Wilt Chamberlain said about Joe Hammond, and I'm going to leave that alone. Wilt Chamberlain said that him and Pat Riley played Joe and I think Vincent White up on 113th and Lennox. And Joe Hammond bust Pat Riley ass so bad that Pat wanted to fight him. This is on record here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wilt would know a lot better than me.
Yeah, no. He expressed to that. He told me that.
Oh, yeah.
He told me that. Because he was trying out for the.
I did a few commercials with him.
Yeah.
Me and Sam Worthing did a commercial with Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spirit Shoes, I think it was.
Okay. Now going back to your life, brother.
Yes, sir.
So you meet Joe Hammond at a young age, and you wanted to emulate his style of game.
I
wanted to be Joe.
Be like Joe Hammond.
Yeah, everybody want to be like Mike, but you wanted to be like Joe.
I want to be like Joe.
Okay.
I ain't know Mike. And when I met Mike, I didn't want to be like Mike. I still wanted to be like Joe. Mike. Nigga.
Right.
I'm talking about the best, man. Joe Hammond is the best basketball player I ever seen, man. I say that to the day I die.
Okay. So when did you find yourself getting deep into the game of basketball? When you say, you know what? I got something going in here. I see myself.
Like with me, one thing about Clarence and Freddie and them, they had a way of keeping you in your place, man. They were real brothers to me, man. Like, I call them my uncles. They would bust my ass if I didn't go to school. They would keep me from wayward activity. And they were the most wayward people I've met. Let's just think about that.
Wow.
Not to say they were bad, but they had to do what they had to do.
Right.
But they had morals, man. They had structure. They had principles, man.
So that's what you think led you into the NBA? Being that you had elders?
I think what led me into the NBA was that and knowing that I was protected from the streets, by the streets, and that I went to school. I learned, I was a good student.
Okay. And what high school you played at?
At Charles Evans Hughes. Me and Steve Bird. Steve Bird's my brother, man. I'm telling you. True warrior, man. That's my brother. Me and him, we were undersized, but we were pretty two good guards, man, that played together. I love him, man. That's my brother.
Yeah?
Much respect, Steve. I love you to death, bro.
Okay. And how long did it take you to develop your game, man? When you was NBA ready, man?
I remember playing against Steve. We was 12, man. We were developed then. Me and Steve was developed kids, man. I think when we were little like that, Steve was a lot stronger than me because Steve was always strong. I was kind of, I had to get stronger, but Steve was always skilled, man, as a kid, man. I'm telling you, he was probably one of the best biddy or midget basketball players I ever played against, man. For real.
Okay.
That's not an over exaggeration. People know what I'm saying. So
Okay. And growing up in Harlem, man, I know you experienced the Rucker Park.
yeah, I won about 3. Hey, yo, I played with Sam Worthing in that too. I played with 2 championships up there with Sam Worthing. I always played with Sam. He was one of the greatest ball handlers and basketball players I ever played with. So, and everybody played. And Artie Green, the grasshopper, man, was he's like a big brother to me. I love him, man. That man, he should have been in the NBA too. Okay, so it's not, it's who they like, man. And
Right.
that's it's a highly political thing, man. And I would just say the advantage I had. I went to school. I had a college degree. I had some pedigree to what I was bringing, man.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
That's
Right.
the only thing that made it.
Have you ever played in Rucker tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, you said you have. Yeah.
I won like 4 championships. And let me tell you something. My man Ronnie Mathias, don't nobody got more Rucker championships than him. He got about 8 of them. He should be in the NBA too.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people that was very skilled that should have been in the NBA that didn't make it for whatever reason the political structure did to them.
Okay.
I can't.
Now I want to talk about you in college, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
How was your college years, man? Right before you went into the NBA, man.
Let me say this, man. I was in Spain playing against the Spanish national team. We were in this hotel, and like outside the hotel, Nick.
Right.
Outside that hotel, it was nothing but people. I'm talking about people living in squalor. They didn't even have a roof.
Right.
And when they would give us these pesos, me and Curtis Redding, we went over there and we gave them, pretty much half of what we had. But they would, that poverty was. So while we were sitting at the table, me and Kurt was talking about it, and this white boy named Tim Cluse, I said, man, because I was telling him like, damn, man, it's real bad here. Kurt said, nigga, you need to come to Brooklyn, nigga. It's fucked up in Brooklyn. And Tim Cluse just interjected into our conversation by saying, if you don't like it in America, you could leave America.
Man.
This is Tim Cluse, the coach of Iona. So I wound up breaking his fucking leg in college. You understand? Him and Mark Calzanetti, the coaches. They were sending them to hurt me in practice. And it went the other way. It went bad for them. Tim got his leg broken. Mark got his teeth knocked out his mouth in one practice.
And what happened to you?
You think I'm lying? Talk to Lou about it.
And what happened to you?
He took me in the office and explained to me how I think I'm a thug and all that. And I told that motherfucker, I'm getting ready to go to Harlem right now today. You understand? I'm not ashamed of who I am and what it is, but you send somebody else to hit me, I'm going to fuck you up, Lou. You understand?
Right.
Because that's what it was, because they wanted me to I'm not, let me tell you something, I'm not politically correct, man. You want to know why? Because this country ain't politically correct. So why should I be? Okay? We have been exploited as a people, emasculated, humiliated, man, as a people, man. Okay? And now we have to acquiesce to this system of white supremacy. And how can I keep my dignity as a black man? You answer that to me, man. How can I acquiesce to this bullshit and keep my dignity as a black man? Okay? I prefer to keep my dignity as a black man by any means necessary.
Right.
You understand? And that's real, man.
Okay.
And I'm almost at the end of my life, so shit.
Okay.
There's nothing else you could do to me that you ain't already done did. Because death is inevitable, and I ain't afraid of that.
Okay. Now I want to talk about your life in the NBA, man. Your rookie year, man. Was it a tough year as a rookie in the NBA, man?
Let me say this, man. My experience with the San Antonio Spurs, my biggest regret was getting angry at Bob Bass and telling him what I told him. That's my biggest regret with that.
And why you regret that? Was you a knucklehead, man? Was you like...
I was immature at that time, and I didn't know the business. And, I regret that. If I could do that over again, I would just sit down and say thank you for the opportunity and walk the fuck away. Because I would have been. I learned that though. I didn't have anybody to guide me through that process. I had to learn that on my own. But that's my biggest regret about that.
That's your biggest regret, man.
About San Antonio.
Okay.
Was getting angry at Bob Bass and saying what I said. So Bob, I apologize for that.
Okay. Now, when we talk about the draft class, how was that day, man? You could reminisce, man.
I had to take a quantitative analysis test. I didn't go to the draft.
You didn't go to the draft.
I'm trying to graduate, man. My mother. Let me tell you something, man. I was raised by my mother, and I had a father that was a police officer. So he was law enforcement, put it like that. And man, I had to learn, man. You don't understand that. I grew up in a household with a mother and a father. I didn't grow up in a broken household. So education was sternly stressed.
Sternly stressed.
Yeah. Get your ass whooped if homework wasn't done, man.
I hear that.
Wasn't a bad thing because I know how to read and write. So
right.
My mother and father accomplished what they did.
Okay. Now, growing up, man.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Yes, sir.
And being in Harlem, man. Mm-hmm. Would you say Rucker Park is the mecca of the streets as we attain Madison Square Garden as being the mecca of the N.b.a?
You have to specify what time period you're talking about because the King Dome came up in the 80s. I would say that Rucker was like early 70s, but once the 80s came up, the King Dome came up, 145th Street, 139th Street came up too. But it was a Whitney M. Young tournament. It was some good tournaments that was also places in Harlem people would come to. But if you wanted to see pros, you had to go to the Pro Rucker. Okay?
Right.
That's if you wanted to see pro players. But if you wanted to see our Harlem players, you could see them at the Whitney M. Young or, the one on 145th Street. You could have saw that one.
Yeah. What do you say to those who say that if you couldn't make it in the Rucker, you wasn't able to go to the N.b.a? You agree with that?
Yeah. I'm talking about, man, I've seen them pros get their ass busted many times up there, man. Let me tell you something, man. Harlem at one time had the best basketball players. I don't know now, because, like now it seems like our basketball players that they come from other places, man. Well, we got all the best players right here.
Right here in New York, man.
Yeah.
Texas.
Right here in New York. Okay. And was you there to witness Dr. J?
Yeah.
When he played against Joe Hammond?
I didn't see that game, but I heard Doc did good. But Joe had 55 that game. I mean, listen, man, there wasn't nobody guarding Joe, man. He just, like I said, man, he could shoot, man. He could dunk, man. He just was a perfect basketball player. I tell you, Joe was the best basketball player I ever seen, man. There's no lie, and if anybody think I'm lying, please say something, man. I want to hear somebody say Joe Hammond wasn't the best basketball player that they ever saw, if they ever saw him. Okay, like I said, and that's the truth.
That's the truth, man.
Yes, sir.
So, your draft class, or you said you didn't go to the draft?
I was taking a quantitative analysis test. I was really just trying to graduate, and I never, let me say this: I never started a game in college. But I did do good in that N.b.a. combine. I did really good until I got hurt. Like back then it was 10 rounds. So they had these combines where you be playing 3-4 games a day, man. And now I think about after 30th game, my nigga Greg Kite kneed me in my thigh. But I think I had put in enough work where they saw this boy can play in the N.b.a. So that's why I got drafted. And I got drafted, I think 44 in the second round.
Yeah.
So out of all of the players that they saw, I was the 44th player, and a man that never started a game in college. So,
All right. And how was it playing against Magic Johnson, man? When you first met Magic Johnson, what was it like?
Magic Johnson, man, he's a funny guy, man. You really don't know how funny Magic is, man. He is a great guy to be around. Nothing in the world can get him down. Just a great man, man. I always look up to him. But I had to throw all of that in the closet when I got on the court with him. I didn't like him, man. But
Why you ain't like him?
I had to because I knew because I like him, man, and I have to be in a state of mind to play against Magic. And let me tell you something: if I wasn't in that state of mind, he would have destroyed me, man. Because he's too big, man. He's just too big, and I had to take his dribbling away from him. I had to take that away from him in order to be effective guard, and I did. So.
And you did.
Yeah, watch the film. Game 2, L.A. Lakers against Seattle SuperSonics, Western Conference Final.
In that game, you feel you shut Magic. You feel you
shut him down. I stole the ball from him at least about 3 or 4 times. I mean, you can watch it yourself. Like I keep saying, go to the videotape, okay? And those are deep in the playoffs. The Knicks, you can't even get out of the first round, motherfucker.
All right, wait. We ain't gonna do that, man. No. I ain't even ask you a question about no Nick. And already you gotta squeeze in.
I gotta say, I know that's gonna get you mad.
Come on, man.
And that might make you ask me some more questions.
Yeah, it is, man.
Bob Dolan Knicks.
Yeah, it's gonna ask you. It's gonna make me ask you who dunked on you again. As a Knick player, you said Gerald Wilkins?
Hey, listen, Gerald Wilkins dunked
on me. Yeah. See? I ain't want to ask you that. I ain't want to ask you that. I mean, I'm asking about
Dominique's brother. I guess that's in the genes for them to dunk. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to rationalize it. I like Gerald, Dominique. I love him. And, he beat me to the basket. I'm not going to foul him. I mean, I don't hurt players, man. I don't play like that. Like what that dude did to
Come on, don't say you don't hurt players, man. You just said 10 minutes ago you broke somebody's leg, man.
Oh, no, this was a dude trying to hurt me. Listen, let me tell you what happened there. They had this rebounding drill.
Right.
Carmine Calzanetti, guess what? He's the initiator. Every time they put me in the middle, Tim Kluse on this side, and Mark on the other. And he would throw the ball up, and we had to rebound it. Let me tell you what they was doing. Tim would try to trip me, and Mark would come with the high elbow to try to throw it at me. So once I figured out what they were doing, when Tim put his foot out to trip me, I went behind him and swept his leg out, whipped, and then acted like I was going to jump for the rebound and landed right on his leg. He's injured. He's out. He's cursing while he's limping out. Yeah. The next drill was the passing drill. Like, they would pass you the ball and you would catch it, and the guy had to defend you. The guy passes you the ball and then comes to defend you, and you got to try to take him to the basket. When he passed the ball to me, I acted like I was going to catch it, and I caught his ass with a right to his motherfucking mouth, and practice was over. Okay, that's how that went at St. John. Okay, and that's a true fucking story. And Mark and Tim, you can talk to and verify that anytime you want. Okay?
Shit.
Okay, now when you do that, I'm going to do that. Just like when Patrick Ewing, your man, hit me in my mouth, by the way, because I kept stealing the ball from him.
Pat?
He had to get what I give. You hit me, nigga, you going to get it. That's how that goes.
So wait.
You got it.
So you saying...
It's on videotape, too.
So you said Pat hit you first.
First of all, let me tell you this. Lou prepared us well against Georgetown.
Right.
He was as mad as I was. We lost to them all 3 fucking years I was there. So when he trained us to take it. It was predicated on us taking the ball from Patrick Ewing. And I was the guy that was going to take the ball. And I very rarely fail on my fucking suicide missions.
Okay.
Because it's a suicide mission going down there.
So
steal the ball from Patrick Ewing. That's a suicide mission.
Thank you.
But they get a nutcase like me to do that job, and I did it. And I got punched in the mouth for it, okay?
By Patrick Ewing?
Yes. Go to the videotape. You can see it. They'll never show that game because I must have punched at least about 5 or 6 of them niggas in their face. They never show that game. If you go to YouTube and say, show the Georgetown St. John's game, they instantly switched that shit to 1985 with that team, even though they went to the Final Four, lost to Georgetown twice. That didn't happen in my tenure there, Betty. So just know that. Like I said previously, y'all didn't beat Georgetown until I played.
So you the reason why Georgetown took the L.
I came off the bench the first game. I had about 9-10 points, about 5 fouls, and I got thrown out that game. They threw me out the game. I punched that big guy Dalton in the stomach. It was that game. They'll never show that game. That was a real. I mean, I fucked Georgetown up myself. Then I went to Washington and beat their ass too. I beat their ass in Washington. Okay, they'll never show that game either, because that game I had about 18 or 20 off the bench, and they'll never show that game. They don't like people like me.
Where's that man you though? I was about to say that.
They don't like.
Do you feel appreciated, brother?
No.
When you look back at your career.
Appreciated by my mother in Harlem, but I don't feel appreciated by the other people. I don't feel appreciated by them.
You don't feel.
I don't want their appreciation anyway. They don't like us anyway.
Now, I want to talk about racism, man.
Yeah, please do.
I want to talk about racism.
Who started it? Who started
You
racism?
can go. You go.
Sure. Okay.
Who started racism? That's who we need to go. Let's go to the root of who started it.
Talk to me.
The people that just walked by, their parents started it. Okay, I'm going to tell you. White people started racism. And why did they start it? Because they had to control a group of people in order to build this country. We built America. That White House, those white people stay in, we built that. And they told us, y'all can't come in here. You know, backstairs at the White House,
Right.
we were butlers. After building the house, the white people told us we couldn't live there.
Do you think there's, well, we already know the answer to this, but I want you to elaborate, man.
Am I lying?
No, you're not.
Okay, thank you.
Racism in the NBA, man, among players.
Man, that's, let me tell
A
you.
lot of sisters, right? I hear a lot of sisters say, man, why do these brothers, man, get in the NBA and they got a white girl on their arm, man?
Because most brothers are ignorant and don't know that our women are the best women. You got to accept black women for what they are. They're queens by nature, so they're going to nag you to death, okay? That's what they are. They're queens by nature. So you're going to have to man up and be a king and provide and maintain. You can't do that. You ain't a man, okay? Simple as that, man. You can't be everybody. You're always down in our women. I got my problems with my black women, but that's for me as a man to solve with my woman, man. Y'all better man up, man. That's what I'm saying. And I know it's hard in this world because the world is against us, but we got to be against the world now. If we got to fight the world to show our women that we men, then motherfucker, bring the world on, man. We got to be men enough to know this is our shit, man, and that's our woman, man. We need to protect them and listen to them a little more, man. We don't do that.
Wow. Okay.
Am I lying?
Then you're not.
Okay.
Then you're not. And vice versa, too, man.
It goes both ways because we have been so complacent and ignorant that we letting a white man now dictate how our women are being educated, how our women are being groomed, and now our women are walking around like white women. That's exactly what they are doing. Look at them. They got wigs on, they got the fake eyelashes, they got makeup on, and black women got the most beautiful skin in the world. You do not have to put no makeup on. Only them people got to put the makeup on, okay? Not you. You understand? I'm going to mind the eyes and, lips, but don't put none of that stuff on your face, man. Your skin is too beautiful for that, for real.
Okay. All right. We in Harlem, y'all.
Yeah, for real.
Don't Harlem seem like Africa away from that? Like the blackness,
Man, it's my home, man.
Yeah?
They done re-gentrified it, but it's still my home.
Now, speaking of
Harlem ain't
regentrified,
Africa, man, Harlem is America. We built this. This is our culture. Anybody black that live in Harlem should be proud of the Renaissance period and the historical people. Even Marcus Garvey lived here. We need to be proud of that. And don't let nobody try to re-gentrify it or name it whatever they was so high. That's what white people do. They come in our neighborhood like uninvited guests, and then they try to rename everything. This is Harlem. It was Harlem before you got here, and it's going to be Harlem when you white people leave here, okay? For real.
oh shit. Now, we all over the place, man. So
I know, but that's good because I'm glad you was talking about politics. Let me say this. On the podcast, this guy asked the question, Kevin Williams for president. I said, if I was president, I would tax the hell out of the rich. I would tax them till it hurt for all of the robbery that you did to the poor people. If I was president, you understand, black people would go to every prestigious college in America for free because we were the only people who were legislated out of the process of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we were beaten if we were taught how to read or write for over 350 years. So all black people should go to any school they want for free. You understand? That's how I feel about that. And if I was president, I would take that military budget and split it in half and give half to a poverty program so that I can get these sick people off the street. I can get homeless people out of the street in the homes, and I can get doctors and lawyers to finally do their jobs and stop fleecing America like they doing. That's what I'd do if I was president. And I'll never be president, because if I do that, I would catch a nice, long AK-47 bullet. Period. So, my man, I can't be president.
Can't be president.
No.
Now, I want to go back to the N.b.a, man.
Yes.
What advice would you give to the youth today who want to become N.b.a. players, man?
First of all,
Because you don't see things getting any better.
No.
All right. So that means it's getting worse.
Exactly.
When we speak of socialism, when we speak of racism, and
well, now
like that.
everybody has gone to their side. Oh, good morning. You should put the camera on her. Now, this is what I say about black women. You see her? God damn it, I'm telling you, that's what make a man. No makeup on either. Just beautiful skin. That's what I'm talking about.
right,
Okay, there you go. Let's go back. See, that's what they do. They distract us.
right.
I'm sorry for that, people, but let's go.
Hey,
Let's
if
go.
you single and you want to mingle,
I'm
hey, you
single,
gotta do what you
But
gotta
definitely
do.
that was something that looked very good. So
Okay,
don't
okay.
worry about it. But back to this. No, let me say I'm sorry for the distraction, but go ahead.
Remember, baby, I holds the camera.
Yeah, that's on me, Miss.
That's right,
man,
Miss Nigga Vella. That's
Nick
right.
ain't
You don't
got
go
nothing
get
to
me in no
do.
trouble, bro.
Nick ain't got nothing to do.
I need her throwing my
I
kneecaps,
don't want you doing.
burning my
Nick
kneecaps
love
in my.
you. Listen,
Watch it now.
Nick love you.
All right.
Nick love you.
Okay.
Okay, let's get back, Nick.
Let's continue. Now, I want to talk about, what advice would you give to the kids, man, who want to be N.b.a. players, man?
I want them to get educated, stay in school. I know it's boring and they teaching you that crap, but you got to look for other sources. And anyway, you should do that with the internet now. When I was coming up, I didn't have things like I said, can I find out this about this? And it comes up and give me information. So if you have any idea, you should tell it to Google or one of them, and they'll give you some resource material on it.
Right.
And you discern it for yourself. I want our kids to be educated to make decisions for themselves. I want them to think for themselves.